So I'm getting ready here to make the first drawer. So these are the drawer sides. So they're 7/16 of an inch thick by 3 3/4 inch high, and the back is a 1/2 inch thick, and then the front I'm going to make them a 5/8 of an inch long half blind dovetails up there. So this is set at a half. This is the front of the drawer, and it's set at a 5/8 of an inch, which I did with the marking gauge here. Just cut a line in there, and then to lay the dovetails out is pretty much arbitrary in my case, but this is the bottom of the drawer here. So typically you cut the 1/4 inch groove, 1/4 and 1/4 inch off the bottom and 1/4 inch wide. So that means that this has to be a 1/2 inch here. So this is an 11-degree, again arbitrary by me, dovetail here. So that makes this one 5/8, and then I just spaced them out even across here, and then of course on the top of the front of the drawer you want a solid wood there, so this comes out. The other side, the back, the rear, it's just the opposite. You need this piece on the bottom, and then you have a solid piece on the top, and then just 2 dovetails in the middle. So there's a few more, there's 3 pins, actually 4 in the front, and then 3 in the back. So I'm ready to start sawing, and then I'll use, if this comes out okay, which I hope it does, we'll use this then as a pattern for the other 5. So I'm going to cut out the dovetails now. Coping out the waste. This is the back of the drawer now, so you can see there's fewer. So this is the bottom, and this is the top. Just the 2 tails and the 3 pins. So I left it clamped as I had in the front, and so it's the same process as before. Just not as much cutting to do. Well, after sawing out most of the waste with the coping saw, all that's left to do is chop out a little bit, and I just put the chisel into the marking gauge groove. So that's a pretty positive way to know that you're in the right spot with the chisel.
Create an hour delay and
feel it.
eastbound between Columbia and Hilliard. Jackknife.
We've had a bit of snow, so they're reporting all kinds of snow trouble, driving trouble. So we just go through about halfway.
Route 59 to Kenmore Lake, and a pair of 2-minute delays, Innerbelt South, Dead Man's Curve to 77,
And then we'll do the
westbound, and Kinley.
Well, I've chopped out the dovetails on the side, and so this is the way the drawer will be put together here. So I've got 5/8 of an inch tails up front and 1/2 inch tails in the back that match the back piece here. It's marked on the inside 4, 1, 2, and 3, which is typical to mark sequentially around the inside of the drawer. So I've got the marking gauge here still set at 5/8 of an inch. So now I can mark off the drawer 5/8, and then I'll trace the tails onto the pieces here and cut out the pins, which is the next step. There are lots of different ways to line up the tails to cut the pins. The fact that these have curved fronts don't allow you to lay them flat and stand it up straight, which is more common, or put them in a vise so that you can match them up. I suppose you could put this piece in the vise and lay the other one flat, but I've got a jig here that I made for doing router work, and it's square, so it's square edge this way and a square edge that way. So I've got the drawer front clamp to it, and so that allows me to place this along here, and I've got my mark scribed from the that's the 5/8. So then I just have to line them up, and then I can take a pencil and run it through there and know that the drawer sides are square to the front. So that's important. I'm cutting out the pins now, and the important thing is to make sure you saw the waist side of the line. Try to leave half of the line. Half of the line. There we have it. So I'm chopping out the pins now. I need to be careful about it, although I don't particularly like working with the pine. It's too soft for me, but that's what they use traditionally. Well, I got my first set of pins cut here on the drawer fronts, so it's pretty easy to cut them in there, but as far as chopping them out, I've got the cutoffs from when I cut the curves here to support it, so that I can chop out the dovetails when I'm doing it this direction. So this is a pretty good fit, so I've got the other side to do, and then we'll put it together. Chopping out the dovetails and the drawer fronts now. I've got the cutoffs supporting it. I did clamp it in the vise here, and where's my block? Oh, there it is. So we can try it. So it's a nice tight fit. I don't think there's any modifications that need to be done on that. So looks like we're all set. So I'm assembling the first drawer here, and I've got it overhanging the end of the bench here because there's a bead on there that we definitely do not want to knock off. And I got my little block here because this pine is so soft. They're pretty good, except for that side. There we go. Now we can try it in the drawer opening. Well, after fiddling with it for a little bit, I found out that the kickers were a little bit low in the back. So I had to shave a little bit off of the kickers. That's what it was binding on. Because the drawer was square and fit correctly. So the kicker was a little high, or a little low in the back, so I had to take a little bit off. And in fact, all three of them were the same way, so I adjusted that so the drawer fits in all the slots. So I only have 5 more to make it. Got to put the bottom in, so we have to route a 1/4 inch groove here along the back, and then cut the back of the drawer front out, and then I've got to put a 1/4 inch groove in there, which will be a little challenging, but you can do it with a fly cutter. So I suppose I could finish this drawer and then make the others.